This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show. It's fun. They're amazing.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday. It's live again.
Oh, yeah. It's just getting started.
Come on. That song, that video fires me up so much. It's so good.
Every time I hear that, I'm like, yes. And I get really, really into it because I'm like, it's a Friday, but it's not just any Friday. It's a Friday before a long weekend.
I don't know about you. This long weekend kind of snuck up on me. Like you said it yesterday, long weekend, and I go, when? You're like, this weekend. Oh, this weekend's a long weekend.
Yes. It doesn't really sneak up on most people. They've got it marked on their calendar.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Lots
true.
of plans. Does that mean you don't have any plans this weekend?
No, I actually do. I locked something in so long ago that I forgot I had it. I'm so excited it was here. It came about in a touching way, maybe slightly morbid.
Okay.
I saw a video on Instagram a couple of months ago, and it made me kind of like tear up a little bit. It was, I'm going to butcher it because I saw it a while ago, but it basically said, you get whatever, 80 summers. And then it was like, the next slide was a picture of a really cute dog. And it was like, your dog gets 14.
Oh,
and I was like,
no.
And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked at coffee and then I started crying. And then I thought, I've been doing so much fun stuff and I try to take her everywhere I can.
You know that we started this with Friday, right?
Friday.
Yeah.
No, it's going to come. It's going to be
Okay.
good. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I prioritize my fun on the weekends. And if I can take her, I do. And if I can't, I drop her at my mom's. And I go, no, you know what? I am booking a weekend that is all about the dogs. So one of my best friends, Div and Sonia, we booked a cottage weekend for the dogs. So the three of us are going to a dog-friendly cottage.
Hold on, for the dogs? They're going kayaking? What are they doing?
Yeah, we're going to take them on a boat, actually. We are.
Okay.
We've got their life jackets and everything, and we're making this weekend about the dogs. Like, we're cooking steaks for the dogs.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a big open space for them to run. We're doing all dog-friendly stuff. Everything I don't normally give her stuff other than dog food, but everything we make, we're going to do it without seasoning, some of it without seasoning for the dogs.
What are you going to do for s'mores?
S'mores are gross.
What?
S'mores are overrated and disgusting.
Don't speak for Coffee the Pooch.
They're dry and they're sticky.
You don't know her palate. She's going to love it.
So it's a weekend for the dogs, born out of something I saw on Instagram that really touched me. And I was like, 14 summers and she's already 7.
Oh, my goodness. I love that story. Watch out for the mosquitoes.
Yeah, definitely. What about you? What are you doing? Top that.
No, I can't top that. That is beautiful. And I love that you're thinking that way.
What did you see on TikTok that inspired your weekend?
I don't know, but I'm going to find something that makes me cry that has slides, and I'll tell you about it next weekend.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
I saw a study that said speaking in front of a crowd is considered the number one fear of the average person. I found that amazing. Number 2 was death. This means to the average person, if you have to be at a funeral, you would rather be in the casket than doing the eulogy.
It's the great Jerry Seinfeld, of course. Public speaking terrifies people.
It really does. And I think, obviously we speak for a living, so we may take that for granted. And it probably started like me at a very young age for you, right?
Absolutely. I'm at a point where I get high on it. I love public speaking. Everybody look at me and listen to what I have to say. For me, it was, I didn't know I was good at it until grade 3. We had to do this annual speech competition every year in school. I wrote the speech. It was on recycling. That was the topic we were all given. I was the only kid in the class who didn't use his cue cards. For some reason, and I think I don't even think the teacher cared what I was saying. It's just like, this 8-year-old kid memorized a 5-minute speech.
All the girls in grade 4 were like, he didn't even use cue cards. He's so cute.
and I won the competition for the whole school, and it did something inside me. Like, it made me just be like, pound my chest and be like, I'm here.
Cute and obnoxious at 8 years old. Amazing.
You had a similar story,
Same
I know.
Story, yeah. I won the speech competition growing up as well. And you're right, give you a confidence of speaking in front of a crowd. Fast forward to as an adult, I really feel like the ultimate tip for anybody who's afraid of public speaking, and there's so many of you, and I totally get it. I think if you just look at it as you are talking to your friend, to your bestie.
To one person.
And whatever that might be, whatever the topic might be. If you're talking to your bestie about it, it's going to come out natural. And, it may go on for a while. But
it's like how you're talking to me right now, your bestie.
You're my bestie.
Totally. By the way,
cute, obnoxious bestie.
It's a very good thing we didn't go to the same grade school because we wouldn't have been besties. We would have been speech rivals.
Ooh.
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
You guys heard about this? Dolce and Gabbana just launched a dog perfume. This is real. Yeah, and they have like dog scents and stuff that are out. This is a fancy perfume. I wish you could see the bottle. It's this beautiful green bottle with like a gold paw print on. Like it's nicer than...
It's fancier than my perfume.
It's fancier than human perfumes.
Wow.
It looks beautiful. This is a alcohol-free dog perfume. It's called Fefe.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you how much it costs, but first I want to describe this to you guys, okay? So this is how Dolce & Gabbana describe Fefe, perfume for dogs. This alcohol-free scented mist for dogs blends the fresh and delicate notes of ylang-ylang, musk, and sandalwood. It's a tender and embracing fragrance crafted for a playful beauty routine.
It smells like my candle that I have at home.
What's ylang-ylang?
I don't know, but a lot of candles and creams have it in it.
Yeah, sandalwood and musk.
That sounds good, though.
It does sound pretty good.
It's very masculine.
It is pretty masculine.
I
It feels
like
more
it.
like a cologne than a
Yeah.
perfume. But I've bought scent sprays for coffee before, where if you don't want to give them a bath, you just give
Me
them a
too.
little
Coda
scent
has
spray.
sugar cookie.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, that's
He's like, don't put this on me anymore,
delectable.
please.
And like, those are, I don't know, $10, $15 for one of those. This thing retails for $150 Canadian.
No.
And I should also say vets are like, no, do not put this on your dogs because apparently it can mess up their number one scent, which is smell.
Yeah.
It can confuse that and actually lead to potentially dangerous situations. So they're saying don't do it. Just putting that out there. But
$150?
yeah, and it sounds crazy, but the pet market is nuts,
know.
right? Like it's exploded over the last 15 years. Pet hotels, pet spas, pet vacations, these are all things. So pet people
This
will
is
buy
the
this.
conversation I'd have with my dog. I'd be like, do you want the perfume or do you want to get fed this month? Which
I love it. Do dogs put it on their little paw wrist
No.
and like smell it?
behind their ears.
No, you spray it in the air and then the dog walks through it.
Ah, that's the move.
That's the move.
You know what? You're kind of selling me on this.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Okay, I got a spicy one for you. Let me ask you this question. Do you think marriages should come with a 10-year renewal agreement?
A renewal agreement? Is this like an opt-out clause?
This is like two people are coming together. They're in love. Love is in the air. You have this idealistic view of what your marriage and union is going to be like, right? But you know that in 10 years, you have the option to go your separate ways amicably. You don't have to worry about, it getting messy the way it sometimes does in divorces. And you know that in 10 years, you're done. If this isn't working, you're done. Maybe people change. They go back on some of the things that they had promised. Maybe there's complacency in the relationship.
Right. So love is not forever. Love is for a decade, is what we're saying?
Yes. I know
Yeah.
it doesn't sound as romantic.
This sounds even less romantic than the prenup, which I'm a proponent of.
Right.
So I don't mind this, but then why not just make it annually? Why not make it an annual renewal?
I don't think it's even just like staying together. It's like all the things that you expect that person to do, like date nights, being thoughtful, not being selfish or whatever it might be. I think you can decide what you want in your renewal agreement as well.
When you frame it as 10 years, it sounds less like a renewal contract and more like a prison sentence. Like, doing 6 to 10. I don't know.
What year are you on?
Might get released early.
Yeah. And it could. You're right, because it could go both ways. The one way you can look at it is like, 3 years in, I'm not renewing in 10. Or it could go the other way where you're like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I show up in the ways that I promised to because I don't want this to end in 10 years. So 10 years from now, you're going to see that I lived up to my promises.
Steph, what do you think?
I think this is a good idea if you get married younger. Because right now, I probably wouldn't use it. I think I know who I am. I think I know who my partner is. I think when you're younger, there's big changes that happen, right? So I got married when I was 27 and we grew apart. I didn't even know who he was in the end. I was just like, this is weird. I don't even know what's happening anymore. All the little things were gone,
So you would have opted out after 10.
I would have opted out before 10, but 10, I would have waited it until 10.
So the annual opt-out.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're married, if you're already married and it's time to renew, let's say, what's that thing that you want to make sure happens in the next 10 years? What are you putting on there? I know if it was my husband, if I asked him.
You've been married for 11 years now, right?
Yes.
So what's the thing you
I
would
think
want?
he would make sure that it was something about and it's not just because I talk a lot, but it's about, biting your tongue.
Knowing when to be quiet.
Just knowing when to just be quiet.
Okay. You were about to say shut up,
Yeah.
and then you softened it to be quiet. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not married, but I'm going to say if I was married for 10 years and I was renewing this, I would say like no backseat driving. I don't love I'm using Waze. I'm good. You don't need to tell me a faster route because you don't know a faster route than Waze. So just.
You're putting that on the list?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to play too. I'm not married, but I want to play too.
Okay. If you want to play, answer this question. You're already married. It's time to renew. What's that thing that you want to make sure happens in the next 10 years?
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI.
Do you think marriages should come with a 10-year renewal agreement? This is an idea that's being floated around that, perhaps if you're going into a marriage, that you have some ideas of where you want the relationship to go. You put it all in the contract, and in 10 years, if it doesn't meet your expectations, you go your separate ways amicably.
Yeah.
And if finances is a part of that too, you put that in the contract.
I know I joke about this and whatever, but I think this is something that people should be doing constantly. Like if you're in a serious relationship, common law marriage, whatever, I feel like you should be doing this probably every year, like checking in with each other, making sure both parties are still satisfied. Are you meeting your goals? Are you doing the things you promised each other when you got together? I don't know. I mean, 10 years feels like not enough to do these type of deep check-ins.
If only, but you know what? People start to get a little complacent, right? Like in the beginning, you do all the extras, there's the romance, all of that. And then over time, those things sort of fall.
I'm not even married and I'm complacent.
So we want to know, okay, picture this. You're already married. It's time to renew. What do you want to make sure happens in the next 10 years? What are you putting in that renewal agreement?
Okay, Jim from Scarborough, you've been married for some time. What do you want in the next 10 years with your partner?
One, I've been married for 38 years, so, and there's no prenup. But if I had to, I would say the double standard.
Oh.
Tell us more.
My wife has a habit of do as I say, not as I do.
So you would put in there no double standards.
No double standards.
That's a good one.
That is really good.
Yeah. I'm not even married and I like that.
See, I would put in the opposite. I'd be like, and there is a double standard.
No.
Deal with it.
No, your wife is not always right.
Oh, I like that. That's even better.
Oh, wow.
Right, because they always say, just say yes, dear, and you steer clear. Yes, dear, steer clear. Did I just make that up?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
But Jim, if you put that in there, your wife would probably not renew.
Probably not.
I don't know. Jim sounds like quite the catch. 38 years. I think he's fine. I think he's safe.
Jim, thanks for the call.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Okay, getting a couple of texts as well. Thanks for the call, Jim. What's the thing you want to make sure happens in the next 10 years? This text coming in from Cynthia in Jordan. Love Jordan, by the way. A lot of great wineries there. Cynthia says, my husband and I actually do this every 5 years.
Oh.
We talk about financial freedom, vacations 3 times a year, and working as a team. I like that.
I really like that.
I like that.
And then you know that you're going to be talking about it. So you kind of want to live up to that expectation. Also getting a text here. Wow, I've been talking about a marriage contract that renews 4 years now. My friend thought I was nuts. Like a lease. Great concepts.
There we go.
Like a lease.
Just like a lease. See, this is good. This is lowering the barrier to entry to marriage to me. This is not bad.
Yeah. But in 10 years, they double your rent.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.